Animation in China has often been overlooked in history despite the countless shorts and films created throughout the years. The history of Chinese animation begins in 1922 with Wan Liming, who grew up in Shanghai with his twin brother, referred to as one of the first Chinese animators. He produced the first animation in China, an advertisement for a typewriter. This short was created entirely on paper, without sound, and unfortunately the footage has been lost as many other shorts created at the time. Later in 1924, the Wan brothers, which are recognized as the grandfathers of Chinese animation, worked with Great Wall Film Company to create Uproar in the Studio, a short film produced in black and white combining 2D animation and video sequences from around their studio. Unfortunately, the film is also now lost. Stylistically, they were looking towards many American cartoons, attempting to emulate the rubber hose look and style, hoping to eventually develop their own uniquely Chinese style of animation. The Wan brothers then go on to produce the first animation with sound titled The Camel's Dance in 1935, 4 years before Disney created Snow White, the first Western animation with sound. At the time, the Wan brothers were held back by time and financial constraints, alongside working on a type of media none had yet truly explored in Eastern countries. In 1941, the first full-length feature film is created, titled Princess Iron Fan, produced by the Wan brothers. In the 1950s, the Shanghai Arts and Film Studio was created and produced several different films titled Pigsy Eats Watermelon, A Clever Duckling, and Havoc in Heaven. Havoc in Heaven was directed by the Wan brothers in 1961 and is based on a novel titled Journey to the West. The film follows the story of the Monkey King who rebels against the Jade Emperor and was the first to be created in full color with audio. The development began in the early 50s, but continuously was delayed for over a decade during the Second Sino-Japanese War and later the Chinese Civil War. Fortunately, the film came to completion and was soon released in 1961. Unfortunately, the animation industry came to a halt with the start of the Cultural Revolution due to Mao Zedong only allowing for propaganda to be created. Luckily, the industry picked up by the year 1980 and over 200 films were released to the public, including Nezra Conquers the Dragon King, Legend of Sealed Book, Feeling from Mountain and Water, and many more. At this time, the transition from traditional to digital animation took place, with many animators reluctant to do so. Overall, China has a rich history of development of animation and continues to develop, producing new films each year with more to come.